Hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? I am so excited for today's event, Goal Planning 101, how to set and plan goals for an incredible 2024. I'm going to give everyone a couple minutes to come on in. I would love to hear where you are tuning in from. I am located in Bogota, Colombia. That is home for me. So I am looking out the window. It's a pretty sunny, nice day out. But I would love to hear from you all, where you're tuning in from, and what the weather looks like outside. Someone drop me a comment. I'm going to see if I can bring up that comment section. Wait for some more people to join us. It's a chilly night here in Edinburgh. Burr. I was just back in Massachusetts and there was a ton of snow. So I hope you stay warm. But yeah, go ahead. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Drop a comment. I would love to, love to hear, where you're from. But before we get into today's event, all about goal planning and all of that good stuff, I thought I could just kind of run you through a couple things about Wonderful. I don't know if anyone here is already familiar with Wonderful, how you might have come across us if you're a member already. But if you came across this event and signed up not knowing, all that much about us, I would love to just give you a really quick kind of overview. So Wonderful is an international community of thousands of travel lovers and travel content creators helping make travel better for women worldwide. I've been a part of the community since 2017. If you're not a part of it, I would love to see you join us. It's a really, really incredible community. Some of the things we do, we have our Wonderful Member Hub, which I'm thinking a lot of you joining us today are already actively a part of that member hub. We're supporting over 3,500 travelers and over 650 content creators. Speaking of content creators, we host something called WITS every year. It is the WITS Travel Creator Summit. It is, you'll see from this picture here in the middle, it is an incredible event bringing content creators together, not only to network and meet each other and learn new things through incredible programming, but it's an awesome way to get introduced to tourism boards and brands and all that good stuff. So we're going to be in Utah for WITS Utah this year, April 12th to the 14th. I will most certainly be there. Drop a comment if you're going to be joining us. I would love to meet you there if we haven't met already. And also the Bessie Awards, that's an award ceremony happening the weekend of WITS. And it's an incredible event awarding voices of impact in the travel industry. So we are doing a lot of stuff over here at Wonderful. And like I said before, if you're not a member, become a member. I've been a member for many, many years. I would love to hear. I see Pam in the comments. Pam, I know, is a longtime member of ours. It's an incredible community of travel loving women right at your fingertips. We have global meetups, which is that photo here. You can see on this slide that happened in Mexico City last year. We've got tons of more trips coming up, global meetups, online resources and community, local hubs around the world. And today's event is a public event for all, but we do a ton of events like this for members only. So we got a link there, sheswonderful.com/join. So come join us. Now, I think maybe we can dive into the event a little bit more, but before doing so, I would like to maybe introduce myself in case you don't know me. My name is Lauren. I'm an entrepreneur, an award-nominated travel blogger specializing in Colombia travel, a published children's author and founder of Wally the Wandering Wallaby, creator of the Healthy Girl Gratitude and Productivity Planner, which we'll be talking about today. And I run an influencer marketing agency specializing in brand partnerships, In fact, I am the director of brand partnerships at Wonderful. So I work with a lot of tourism boards and travel brands and whatnot to bring awesome events to everybody in the community. So that is a little background on me. And I thought I could tell you a little bit about my past year. Today's, we're talking about goal planning. So I'll just give you a little bit of background of like what my last year looked like. In 2023, I increased my income by 20%. I opened my LLC and set up proper accounting, grew my influencer marketing agency, hired my first employee. I published a wellness and productivity planner. I manufactured a new Wally stuffed animal, 100% made in Colombia. That's this little guy here. That I worked with a local team on. I opened my own e-commerce business and figured out a shipping strategy from abroad. As I said before, I do live in Colombia. I launched the new Wally website with 30 new products. I spoke on stage at WITS Puerto Rico, which was this past year's event, in front of 500 travel bloggers and creators. I raised over $400,000 from my clients and sponsorships and brand partnerships. I transformed my fitness and nutrition and got the healthiest and strongest I've ever been in my life. I read 11 books. I traveled to all sorts of new places or places I've been and wanted to return to. And then I planned and organized a 200-person wedding back in my home state and got married, planned a honeymoon. It's a lot of stuff. And I say all this to kind of say, it was a lot of stuff in this past year. And I had a plan and I set goals for it. And so my point in kind of mentioning all that was the fact that I was able to achieve that because I went into the year with a very specific plan and strategy on how I was going to do all of these things. So that's kind of what today's event is about, covering goal planning and how to set, realistic, achievable goals. So what we'll cover today, we can just quickly go through this and then we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of it all. So what makes a goal achievable? How to be upfront and honest with yourself in order to create attainable goals, a strategy for how to stay on top of your goals from a monthly, weekly, and daily basis, how to use the 8 key categories to plan your goals across all aspects of your life, how to habit track and highlight track, how to create a vision board that helps you achieve your goals. I have templates that you can use for your phone and computer backgrounds if you would like. I have found that very helpful. And just a little bit of fun, something that I call the champagne exercise, which I learned from a friend, some extra resources, and oh no, can't hear anything for some reason. I just want to check. Can everyone give me like a thumbs up or a comment to make sure you can hear me okay? Just want to make sure that everyone can hear. I'll continue, but if you guys want to let me know, that would be great. But anyways, some extra resources and, oh great, thank you, Barbie. And we're going to have a giveaway winner today. I am giving away a copy of the Healthy Girl Gratitude and Productivity Planner. I don't know if you can see in my video here, my favorite productivity timer. And I don't have them in front of me, but my favorite set of erasable pens that I know might sound silly to you, but creates so much happiness and joy in my life. And it's my little productivity package that I would love to give somebody today. So I just want to mention that we have Rebecca, who is the director of member experience, on the back end of this event. She's going to be dropping links throughout this event to make sure you all have the kind of the resources and things that we're talking about. I would love for you all to enter this giveaway if you would like by dropping a comment saying that you're interested, and we are going to do a random drawing at the end of this event. So stay tuned for the end of the event, and you could possibly win our little giveaway today. Okay, so let's dive into it. Is everybody ready? We're gonna go full throttle because we have a lot to cover. So that first thing we were talking about in one of the last slides, being realistic. So if you're at this webinar, then I'm assuming that you're probably a very ambitious person who wants to achieve a lot this year and go in with, with a plan. But we all know not everything can be done all at once. I have always struggled with this, that I have a million things I want to do, and kind of honing in and being realistic about what can I actually accomplish. We have finite time to do things. So what I like to do is make a list of everything that I want to accomplish. It can be the craziest, most outlandish things, lifelong goals, year goals, whatever it is. And then I take a look at that list and I very, very much pare it back and figure out what can I actually achieve in the next 4 months. So, an example of kind of sometimes where we head, I want, be realistic that you might not become fluent in a language, run a marathon, and become a millionaire with your business in one single year. If you can, I'll take your class, please. That sounds absolutely amazing. But yeah, just being realistic with yourself. So some of the kind of tools or tactics I use, write it down. So I put here Post-it note example. There's a real thing with writing, actually physically writing things down, writing your goals down to make them more real. I'm going to just show you. I don't know if you can see this. I know the screen's a little blurry. Maybe you can't see it, but it's blurry, but I'll tell you what it is. It's a Post-it note. And it says goal, write a kid's travel book. And this was from many, many years ago before I started Wally the Wandering Wallaby, which is my children's travel brand, inspiring kids to get curious about the world and hopefully create a more tolerant generation of children. But I wrote this down, write a kid's travel book, and it's a Post-it note I have kept, and I now have pressed up against my government trademark of Wally the Wandering Wallaby as that reminder that writing things down is powerful, and it is that reminder. It's in front of you. You see it with your own eyes, that it's there and you can do it. So that's just a small example. But the next thing I have here is make it visible. So I think we often forget things that when we cannot see them. An example of this is, kind of raise your hand if you recently went through a closet or a drawer and you came across an item of clothing and you're like, oh my gosh, I love this clothing. I haven't worn it in ages. Well, the reason you haven't is because it's been pushed to the back of your closet or drawer and you forgot about it because you didn't see it. I am a huge proponent with goal, not just with goals, but with my life in general, having things be visible to me. If they're not in front of my face, and I think that's a lot of people, if it's not in front of your face, you're likely going to forget it. So some tools and tactics I use for that. I use a yearly wall calendar. That might sound crazy, but it is. I can't show you because my video is a little blurry, but to my left here is an enormous 12-month wall calendar where I can see my month by month of what is coming up, what is happening. And this is where I put, trips that I have coming up, any weddings that I need to go to, big events. I also put goals on here and circle that. So I see, what's coming up in the next 4 months. And I think going back to the being realistic thing, if you have 10 back-to-back trips, a million weddings going on, that was my last year. So that's what I'm looking at right now. If you have this huge goal that you're saying you're going to accomplish in the next 4 months, but you have back-to-back trips and, all these things going on, where are you creating time and space to achieve that goal? So using this kind of system has been very helpful for me because it gives me an actual visual of, what does the year look like? Where am I at in the year? And am I being realistic with my goals? Another thing I do is I have a whiteboard that I put all of my goals on and I'm looking at every single day. It's another visual representation of having those in front of you. And then just daily glancing at goals and vision. So I'm telling you about the yearly calendar, about, whiteboard, but also having a physical planner or booklet in front of you that you're referencing on a daily basis and reminding yourself, keeping yourself accountable of the goals that you have set for yourself. So the next thing I want to talk about is staying consistent. And I don't know about you all, but I have seen so much messaging around like, consistency and showing up every single day the same way to achieve. And I have always been very, very hard on myself. I would love to hear if anyone else feels similarly. If you want to drop a comment or let me know, that I was never living up to that. And I always kind of beat myself up. I would look at my husband who, every day he wakes up with the same energy and gusto to take on the day and take on his, he's a very ambitious entrepreneur as well. And I would wake up feeling different every day of my life. And I'm thinking, why can't I get myself to a place where I'm, feeling that same way and feeling that, consistency to take on the day. And it wasn't until recently that I finally, came across cycle syncing and, learning more about my cycle as a woman and how different I feel, on a daily basis, depending on where my hormones are at in my cycle. I'm not a medical professional whatsoever. I have no degree in this. I've just done a lot of research, and I have learned that it is so imperative for, women who are experiencing a cycle to be aware of our hormones and how that's affecting us, not only in a personal way, but also in a, for me as an entrepreneur, thinking about, I'm probably not going to plan my biggest event of the year or my biggest, project during a time when my hormones are really low. So I'm going to show you just a resource on that in a little bit. So that's, yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. I said reference cycle tracking chart. We'll look at that. And then some habit tracking, highlight tracking, mood tracking resources that I use. And then some things to avoid burnout. I have experienced that, and I'm sure everybody in this chat has. Burnout is real, especially, someone saying, how do you deal with a goal overwhelm when you are setting goals personally and professionally? We will get into that. That's actually what today is all about. I find that a lot of people, when they sit down to set goals, are thinking very much only in one category of their life. They have one, many goals, maybe professionally, and we're going full throttle at our professional goals and money goals and all these things. But in my opinion, that's what leads immediately to burnout, because you're not balancing your life in all the categories of your life. So we are going to talk about those eight categories. There might be more, but that's how I envision and look at things. And part of that is prioritizing mental health, taking care of ourselves, self-love. And some of those things are what I have here: journaling, practicing gratitude and affirmation. So we will get into that. And how we're going to be getting into that a little bit today is using a resource that you see on the screen here, which is called the Healthy Girl Gratitude and Productivity Planner. It is a wellness and productivity planner designed to help you find balance, peace, and purpose for an overall happy and healthy life, body, mind, and soul. I have always struggled with finding balance between my professional goals and my daily life and my health and, personal development and all of these things. And this is my really holistic way of looking at that. So there's 4 months of journaling, daily gratitude, positive affirmations, healthy eating and activity logs, hydration tracking, cycle tracking, goal setting, scheduling, and to-do lists to keep you on track and help you become your best self ever. So we are going to be using this today. I have got one in my hands, and someone here today is going to win this. We're going to be using this as a resource, but it's not to say it is the only resource. There are a million planners out there. You really need to find one that works for you. I have been using a planner since I was a freshman in high school. That was a very, very long time ago. I've used one every single year of my life. So I have found that I haven't come across something that gives me everything that I need in that very holistic sense, not just my business goals, my career goals, but also taking care of my health and my happiness and all those things. So we're going to dive into this a little bit further. And I'm not going to read all of this to you. I just wanted to give you a little inside look at the planner itself in case it is going to be helpful for you. So the kind of intro page is: welcome to your balanced, healthy life full of gratitude, self-love, achieving your goals and dreams, and becoming the best version of you. This planner aims to help you cultivate happiness and mental wellness through daily journaling, daily gratitude, and daily affirmations, while encouraging whole body health through tracking your daily water intake, your daily meals and activities, as well as your cycle health. So if you've ever struggled with anxiety, of balancing your personal development, mental health, physical health, and professional goals, personal goals, then this planner was designed for you. So I created it for that person. So this is just a quick little overview of what's inside the journal. So there is a reference section talking about why should you do morning journaling, why you should do a gratitude practice, why you should, do daily affirmations, and how to track your cycle. There's a goals and vision section, which we're going to look at today. And then there's 4 monthly calendars, 16 weekly calendars, and 112 daily calendars and schedules. Rebecca is going to drop the link in here in case you want to check out the planner. But I wanted to just quickly point out that the monthly calendars, there's 4 of them. And you might be thinking, why didn't you do quarterly? Most people look at the, especially in your career, you're looking at the year in quarters. I like to look at the year in thirds. I have always found that 3 months is just not enough time to really fully flesh out my goals. And I just really, I have always been this way. I view my year in 3 parts. So this journal or planner / journal is designed for a 4-part goal setting and accountability journal planner. So very quickly, just want to show you a couple of things. In the planner, there are 25 positive affirmations to inspire you. It might look really, really small, but if you want to pull out one that you really love, I am a really big fan of writing an affirmation every day to inspire me. These are my 25 favorites, so I dropped those in there. And then again, I'm not going to go over the cycle tracking section. As a reminder, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor whatsoever. This is just an overview of something that has helped me massively as I was telling you, I always have beat myself up about how I'm feeling on a daily basis. And this gives me a really good picture at where my hormones are at and like what kind of work I might be able to produce or how I might be feeling from a fitness standpoint and all of those things for those of you who are in that time of life. So that's in there. There's resources at the bottom if you want to take a screenshot of that, but it is in the planner, which has helped me massively. So let's talk about goals. Finally, making SMART goals. I am sure that you have all heard of the acronym SMART for goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. I'm just going to bring it up bigger on my screen because it's really small here. So just give me 1 second. So creating SMART goals. I think a lot of times we sit down and we throw out all these things we want to accomplish without thinking about how are we measuring the success of this? When is this goal happening? What's the specification of this? Is this achievable for me within this time period? So an example of this would be, I have here a normal goal we might think of as, I'm going to run a 10K in 2024. That is actually one of my goals, by the way. So a SMART goal would be taking that and saying, okay, you want to run a 10K, but when are you going to be running this 10K? What kind of 10K are you going to be running? Do you have a specific one that you looked up? So run a 10K, you change that to run the City Classic 10K on April 14th, 2024. And what do I need to do to achieve that? First of all, maybe before you even create the goal, you're researching what 10Ks can I run? I need to register for that to make it more real. I need to look into training programs or create my own training programs and then breaking that down on a weekly scale. How much are you going to be running every week, every day, and creating a plan that then you're going to break down into that monthly, weekly, and daily section. So this kind of, then I'm going to reference this page over here where it says my goals and vision. The point of this section is to think about how you can create SMART goals in every single category of your life. I know I've mentioned several times those 8 categories. So what I consider to be the 8 most important categories, and feel free to drop a message if you think there's anything missing. That first part, health and fitness. This has been a huge focus of mine personally for the past couple of years, and putting time and energy into creating goals around that has transformed my health. You can also put wellness here. So this is where you might put that 10K goal, and then writing those action steps. I suggest 1 to 3 goals. That's why I have 3 sections here. And then in the action steps, breaking it down into little parts. So you might need to write a little bit small. But health and fitness, personal development, habits and daily rituals, career and business, travel and adventure, romantic relationships, friends and family, and financial and monetary. So again, looking at the whole view, your life in a very holistic way. A vision statement, which I have at the bottom here, is specifically in this planner, but you can do this over a year. You can do this over a 5-year period if you want. If you're really, really ambitious, and then break it down by year and all of that. For me, that's thinking a little too much in the future, but how I think of it is a vision statement based on the 4 months that I'm working off of in this planner. So you're going to write as if you have achieved these things. You're writing from the perspective 4 months from now that I ran the City Classic 10K on April 14th. It felt amazing. You're actually using descriptions about your life as if these things have happened. It's a way to kind of make your brain realize that this is an achievable thing. So there's a lot of like manifestation things happening in this planner, but this section is all about planning out your goals by making SMART goals, making sure you're always asking yourself about this goal. How am I achieving this? What are the steps that need to be taken in order to accomplish this? And always asking yourself that. So let's move into tracking monthly. So this is an example of the planner. Again, you can use any planner. You can use just a plain journal if that's helpful for you. This is just something that I created because it really, really helps me keep tabs on where I'm at between my yearly calendar, my whiteboard with my goals, and then breaking it down by the month and the week and the day. So tracking monthly. First, looking at the month, adding in any major projects you have coming up or major events. This is not like a daily, you don't need to write in your daily, planner or anything like that. It's undated, so you can start whenever. And then the next section is your highlight of the day. We're going to circle back on that because we're actually going to look at this from a daily perspective. But I have found that highlighting something from the day in the planner, it's what are you most proud of from the day. It can be anything. It doesn't have to do with work. It could be that I feel proud that I, went for a walk and got sunshine on my face. It's anything that makes you feel happy, writing that in the daily section, which we'll look at, and tracking it in your month. So you can look back on every day of your month and pull out something really awesome from that day. The monthly habit tracker. So this space is a great way to track how consistent you are with your habits on a daily basis. So habits have been huge for me and just success in my life in general, especially from the journaling, gratitude, affirmation, healthy meals, healthy activities, and hydration. Again, this planner is very like whole life success and health, not just career, not just this or that. It's looking at the whole, your whole life. And there's blank spaces to add in other habits. So if you're, on a language journey, if on the page before under personal development, you put achieve a, whatever level of fluency in a language by X date and all of that, maybe in this section, you're putting a habit that you're going to do to accomplish that goal on a daily basis. So maybe it's, 10 minutes of Duolingo per day. You can write that in here and track your consistency with that. Having this here tells your brain and really makes your brain and you want to do that so you can check it off. I'm a big checker offer and I have found that very, very helpful. And then the monthly mood tracker. This is going back to kind of the cycle syncing, cycle tracking section we were talking about before. This, of course, is not mandatory whatsoever. It only applies to those who are experiencing this at this time in their life that they want to. But I have found it really helpful to look at the correlation of my mood and where I'm at in my cycle throughout the month. And it's been really helpful for me in planning things. Again, not planning when I probably know my energy is going to be low, not planning a huge event or a party at my house or whatever. Okay, so let's talk about tracking weekly. So this section is obviously at the start of every week. We're coming to this and writing out any major events we have. I have it broken down by morning, afternoon, evening. Again, I'm not putting like tasks in here. It's more any, things I need to be aware of if I have an event coming up or the electrician is coming or I have a dinner with the girls, anything like that. It's going in this section. So I have an overview of my week, what I want to be doing. Workout classes, making sure I'm logging those here, just again, so you can get a kind of picture of what your week's going to look like. And then looking at your weekly priorities. So in the goals section, we're going to be referencing that every single day. You want to keep your eyeballs on those goals that you have and come back to this weekly section every week, referencing that and pulling out what goal am I going to be, what part of what goal am I going to be working on? So let's say you want to take or I have an idea because I want to do this year. I really want to be focusing on an ad strategy for Wally the Wandering Wallaby for that e-commerce business. So that's going to be a main goal that I have. I've written a SMART goal. Part of that is going to be, first of all, I don't know that much about that. I need to find a course that I want to take to learn about this. So maybe a priority of that week is researching courses on, how to create a successful e-commerce ad strategy. And then possibly the next week, you're breaking that priority down further, saying, taking module 1 of that course. So it's all about breaking down those bigger goals into small actionable pieces throughout your weeks, throughout your months. Something here that I love is the weekly to-do list brain dump, because I understand we have so much going on in our lives outside of our goals, right? Like you have to return your Amazon to Kohl's, you have to pick somebody up from the airport, whatever it is. Just a brain dump has always been really helpful for me of getting everything out of my brain early in that week and then reorganizing those priorities as I go, and referencing this list as we're building our daily plan. Also, this is just a small thing. I don't know if you can see it in the top corner. I have a bunch of quotes. I love this one. Stop finding ways you can't do something. Find the way that you can and then go for it. That's an Issa Rae quote that I really love. All right. Okay. And now we're talking about daily tracking. I know I keep referencing this, but it's really about something that I have always found very helpful is in the past, I was creating goals from a career perspective and not taking care of myself, not taking care of my body, mind, soul. And so this daily section is a way to making sure we're coming back to ourselves, not just pushing forward with goals all the time. That's just, in my opinion, a very unrealistic way to approach life. So this daily section, the first half of it is all about checking in with yourself, making sure that we are checking in with our body, mind, soul first thing. The kind of first part, good morning, let's clear the brain fog. That's like a 2 to 3 minute journaling exercise every morning, giving yourself space and time. You have your coffee or your tea, you're just waking up and you're doing a kind of brain dump of what you have on your mind or anything that you're thinking about, just getting it all down on paper. This morning I woke up really tired. I'm feeling low energy today, whatever it is, or the opposite of that, right? I woke up feeling so excited to achieve so much today. Last night I had this dream, or this is what I'm really nervous about this week. It's just about getting those things out of your brain and onto paper to clear more brain space for achieving the things you want to achieve. Then moving into gratitude, I'm sure you've all heard that gratitude is a life-changing practice, and just thinking about things that you're grateful for in your life can bring so much joy. this section is, to me, all about avoiding burnout, and looking at gratitude from a place of not just, oh, I'm really grateful for my partner, but making it more specific. I'm really grateful they, about this specific thing about them, or, I'm grateful that I was able to get out of bed today. Just really thinking about things from a broader perspective. It brings a lot of perspective to your life. And then we talked about affirmations before, but adding in your positive affirmation of the day. I referenced the section we talked about at the beginning with those 25. I pull one out of those and kind of take it as my daily one and write it down here. Then there's the daily health check-in. This is really important for me to stay on track with my goals for my health, fitness, wellness in general. So I'm logging my meals for the day. I'm logging my protein for the day. That's very important to me. But obviously, everyone has different goals with how they're approaching this. And then a healthy activity log, whether it's a walk in the morning or, walk in the afternoon or a yoga class at night or whatever it is, making sure that you're staying on track with those goals on a daily basis here. And then I have a little hydration tracker that's very helpful for me to track how much water I'm taking in, a little cycle tracker to say what day out of your cycle you're on, what phase you're in, how you're feeling, and then your daily goals of the day and your daily to-do list, your daily schedule. Again, referencing the week, referencing the month on a daily basis to make sure that we are constantly referencing our bigger goals and breaking them down on a monthly, weekly, and daily basis. At the bottom here, it's one thing I'm proud of from today and how I can improve for tomorrow. So I'm just going to quickly go back for like 2 seconds just to remind you of this monthly tracking section. You're going to take those daily, when you're writing in your journaling, gratitude, affirmations, all those things. If you're doing that on a daily basis, you come back here and mark it off in that monthly habit tracker. It is really amazing to see your progress when you do that. Okay, let's skip ahead. Okay, it is now time to talk about vision boards. I know I've been talking a lot about visual stuff. I'm a very visual person, hence why I need to have those things around me all the time. Make sure my goals are in front of my face every moment. I think this has incredible power. I'm sure some of you know about or are really passionate about, or maybe you haven't heard of manifestation, but, creating a plan around your manifestation, to me, is how you can really make things a reality. So creating a vision board, using your goals in the 8 key categories and brainstorming images that can represent those goals. So from a vision board perspective, people do these in all different ways. Some people sit down and cut out magazines and things like that. I do mine digitally. I have a laptop, desktop background and on my phone, and I have it there all year round. So every time in the morning I'm starting work, that's in front of my face. When I open my phone, that's my lock screen in my background and it's in front of my face. So thinking about how you can, Rebecca is going to drop those templates in the comment section here. You can play around with sizing and layering and feel free to use my Canva templates. Make a copy to resize and fit your devices. I literally create in Canva the exact inches and dimensions of my laptop and my phone, and I put together these vision boards. So we'll take a look at an example, this example in more detail in just a minute. But I just wanted to mention that from a creation standpoint, I make this in Canva. I use Unsplash, Pexels, or freeimages.com to pull images. And I'm literally researching in there. If my goal is to, run a 10K on this date, whatever, I'm going to look for images of maybe somebody running or running shoes or a visual representation of those goals in each of those categories. So we'll skip to the next slide. I'm going to make it bigger on my end so I can actually read this. So health and fitness. I'm not going to read all of these. I'm obviously just going to pull examples here, but I just wanted to give you some examples of what I did last year and that led me to accomplish all that I did in the past year. So from a health and fitness perspective, for me, getting really strong and creating a fitness routine I love was really, really important. I made a SMART goal there. And as you can see in the bottom corner, there's literally a picture of a girl working out. So, for me, that was every day I was looking at that, and it was kind of that reminder to make sure that I'm following those goals, right? Personal development was staying consistent with my Spanish classes. So I know it's silly, but having this little visual representation of language in there was, something I was looking at every day. Habits and rituals, gratitude, meditate, daily journaling. I have books here. I know that's not really journaling, but it tied in one of my other goals, I think is on here somewhere, about wanting to read more books. So that was kind of that visual representation of those for me. Career and business, building my company, Wally the Wandering Wallaby, was huge for me this past year. So I had the Wally logo right in the middle. I had, my 2 books that I've published as a reminder to make sure that was top of mind, and was kind of the visual representation of all of my different SMART goals. From a travel and adventure perspective, so this is the 5th category. I wanted to travel more in Colombia. I don't know if I have anything on here for that. Maybe not. I thought I did, but travel more in Colombia. I want to see the Great Migration and the Grumeti River crossing for an epic honeymoon. So I have some pictures from that. It was my wedding was last year. So I had a picture of where we're going to be getting married as that daily reminder to make sure I was doing all the tasks and things I needed to do to make sure that was a successful event and a happy event. Friends and family, and then financial and monetary. A huge goal of mine this year was to increase my income. And I had goals specific for that. And, I know it's silly, but having this like $100 bills in the background, just like seeing the money every day, was that kind of visual representation of what I was, trying to accomplish. So that is the vision board. I wanted to say we're going to take questions at the end here, but feel free to drop them in as I know we're kind of winding down on time here, but please feel free to drop your questions in the chat below, and we will get to those. So moving on to the champagne exercise. This was probably one of my favorite exercises around goals to do. We call it the champagne exercise. So, we're talking about writing down your goals works. That manifestation of physically writing it down creates that pathway that this is something I'm going to do. I do this with my friends. We gather to discuss our goals for the year. It's also a perfect time to share your wins and challenges from the previous year. And you actually you take a champagne bottle. If you don't like champagne, you don't drink alcohol, obviously there's so many other options. You can write down kombucha, whatever. You take a piece of tape and you physically write the goal, the biggest goal that you want to achieve for that year. You could do this in different ways. You could do it as a, 4-month thing, quarterly thing, yearly thing. I look at it as a yearly thing. You write that on the bottle. Everybody does this in your friend group or your family or whoever, or just you is fine as well. You write that goal and put it away. I had it somewhere where I could see it as a reminder, again, visual. And when you accomplish that goal, you get back together with your friends, you open that and you toast to completing that goal. It is a really, really fun way that brings a lot of joy and is a way to keep each other accountable and celebrate your wins together. So, when another friend accomplishes their goal, you meet with them and you open that bottle and have a sip. So it's just a really fun way to celebrate your wins. I hope that if you've heard about this before, awesome. If not, I hope this is something that you take with you. So I just want to talk about some resources. I know I've talked a lot about habits throughout this. To me, creating habits is such a key and imperative part of achieving your goals. It's creating those habits that you're going to stay consistent with. And for me, the book Atomic Habits was a life-changing read. And I think transformed my life in terms of how I look at habits on a daily basis and how they can really, really change your life. So Atomic Habits is an incredible resource. If you haven't read it, I couldn't recommend it higher. I want to say this week or in January, it's like the highest selling book in the US or something, because everybody is, going after their goals and want to create those more healthy habits and whatnot. Having a gratitude journal or a planner and scheduler. Again, of course, I'm talking about my planner today. That's what I was showing you screenshots of and referencing, but there's a ton of resources out there that you can use. So for me, I used to have a gratitude journal, a regular journal, and a planner and scheduler all separate. And this was my way of kind of combining all of those things into one Bible, as I call it. It's kind of my healthy girl Bible. And let's see, Barbie was saying, totally agree. Atomic Habits was amazing. It's not the habit, it's the ritual leading to the task. 100%. It is the ritual. And I could go, honestly, we could have a whole nother session just on habits, because I find it so incredible how, stacking your habits and putting two things together to make sure that you're doing them. We could go on, but that's a great point. Will we be getting a copy of the slide deck? I'm not sure, but I'm sure we can find a way to get that to you, Pam. If anyone else is interested, maybe drop a comment. Let's see if we can find a way to get this to you. I don't believe we collected emails for this event, so we might have to post it on Facebook or LinkedIn. We'll figure it out. I will find a way to get it to you, because I know there's a lot of really, really good stuff. Well, I hope really good stuff in here that's going to be helpful. So another resource I use from like a productivity standpoint is a timer. It is literally I don't know if you can see that. It's all blurry, but it's a children's timer that works really, really good for people who maybe have short attention spans or struggle with ADHD and things like that. For me, it is another life-changing resource that has helped me stay on track with things. So I can get lost in projects or tasks or whatever, and hours have gone by and I don't even realize it. And this is a way to keep me on track. I highly recommend it. And somebody is going to win this today. I'm sending you a care package of things that help my life, which is the journal / planner, the clock. And then I'm going to show you, I didn't list these here because for some people, I'm sure you think it's silly, but it brings me so much joy. Rebecca and I were talking about it. These pens, I have like a million colors, but these are erasable, refillable pen. Why can't I get them on screen? Pens that I use. And again, I'm sure some people might find it silly, but I hate crossed out things. I prefer to erase it and rewrite it. And I like colors and colorful things. It brings me a lot of joy. So I'll write my journaling in the morning in like green, and then my gratitude, in another color, and then my affirmation for the day. It's just it makes goal setting and planning and scheduling and all these things fun for me. So that's just another like fun resource that I love. And the year calendar I was telling you about, I can't show you, but it's on my wall here. I have all of these things linked in my Amazon storefront under productivity, entrepreneurship, and home office. Oh, you love colored pens in your planner too. See, I'm not alone. Thank you for making me feel not alone. Sometimes people, it's like that's for kids. I'm a 33-year-old woman and I will forever use colorful things everywhere. But anyways, this kind of picture here has all my resources. Rebecca's leaving the link to the my storefront below, or in the comment section, so you can check that out if you want. Again, somebody here is going to be winning those 3 items in the middle today. It's giveaway winter time. So I just want to thank everybody so much for coming. I know there's so much information. I feel like we could at least have another hour or 2 to go into goals in more depth. But I think for me, it's less about like talking about the goals themselves and more about creating a plan and having a system that is going to work for you to actually follow through on those goals. So without further ado, we had a lot of people commenting. And part of this conversation today the giveaway winner who's going to receive the Healthy Girl Gratitude and Productivity Planner, the set of erasable, colorful, reusable pens, refillable, good for the environment. And that productivity timer is I don't know if it's Hulila or Julila. Julila. I'm so sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly, but you are the winner. So we need you to message us your email, and I'll get your shipping information, all that, and get that over to you. But thank you so much for participating today. I really, really appreciate it. Before we hop off, I know we still have 10 minutes. So I think this is a great time to drop comments. And, oh, I said it correctly. Yay! You won. Congratulations. So yeah, let us know where you are based. Now, questions. Please feel free to drop questions below for me. I know we had, oh, wait, Pam, I want to call this out. You said wrong link. Can you tell me what link is wrong? Would you mind telling us? We will try to amend that. But yeah, feel free to ask me any questions about goal setting, habit tracking, and also just here on the screen, I've got, in case you want to reach out to me after this event, feel free to shoot me a DM at Wanderlulu. That's at the top there. My email is wander@wanderlulu.com. I've just put the name of the productivity planner that we referenced today here in case you want to find it. It is on Amazon. That's the only place that I sell it at this moment. It is literally a paperback book, just made into planner form, and it's really big. I know a lot of planners are small to be like more mobile, but for me, it was more about having a lot of space to write in and to track stuff in. So that's there. And then the kind of link to, or the URL rather, to my Amazon storefront in case any of the things I talked about today were interesting to you, or you think they could, that you could find them helpful. So yeah, I am so surprised that we even have 8 minutes left to this event. I was positive we were gonna go over. So I would love to use this time to answer questions if you have any. If not, I think we are good to go. I hope this event was helpful for you in terms of, thinking about what your plan is going to be for this year and how to create real attainable goals in those 8 key categories. Again, just taking a holistic approach to your life and not only prioritizing work, but prioritizing your mental health, your physical health, and all these things. So yeah, I don't think there are any other questions. Oh, that's a nice comment. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Lauren. Really inspirational, and we'll go read Atomic Habits. Oh, Pam, yay! I think I'm already following you. So if not, I will follow you back, Pam. Let's see. Do you have any suggestions on how to get in the writing flow? I think it depends on what type of writing you're talking about. If you're just talking about journaling in general, I very much take the approach of like in the morning, I just woke up, total brain fog. I'm not going to be writing, a prize winning anything. For me, I look at it less of like what words are going down on the page and more so that words are going down on the page. So I don't know if anyone has ever heard of The Artist's Way. Comment if you have. There's something called The Artist's Way, and I want to say it's called Daily Pages or it's called Morning Page. I forget what the name of it is, but try to Google that. There's a really, really great resources on that. There's this, I forget the name of the woman too. I'm having a moment, but basically her whole thing is like taking time to write. I think her exercise is like multiple pages of just writing morning pages. Thank you. Whatever comes to your brain. So if it's like you're writing, I'm feeling super tired today. Oh, look, a bird just flew past my window. It's literally just stream of consciousness writing. I have always found that is an amazing way to just like clear the brain fog, and it opens up space in your mind to be creative, and it opens up space in your mind to deal with more things, which is why I created a very small version of that in this planner, to give you that space to just like stream of conscious writing, just getting everything out. I think that in turn helps your creativity and your, getting in the flow of writing. Again, I don't know what type of writing that you do. I think that could be like a whole nother conversation. When I started writing, I don't think I even showed you this, but when I started writing my children's books, I was taking creative writing courses and doing morning pages, like writing 5 pages, or I forget if it's like 2 to 5 pages every morning for those morning pages. The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. Thank you, my brain. But it's an amazing, amazing resource. So definitely check that out. Take a screenshot that Farah just mentioned in the comments. I really hope this was helpful. Was there any other questions I could cover? We still have 5 minutes. So if there was anything else that you wanted me to kind of talk about, I would be more than happy to cover it. If not, I hope everyone has an incredible weekend. I'm actually going to be taking, I remember there's something else I wanted to say. I'm going to see if it's around here somewhere. For those of you who are Wonderful members, we have a private Wonderful event happening next week. So if you're not a member, but you want to sign up, I think there's a free trial you can try. We are actually going to be using another resource I love, which is called The Year Ahead by Year Compass. And we're going to be talking about, last week, it was a private event for Wonderful members where we talked about the past year and going over everything that happened in the last year, what we're most proud of, things we accomplished and whatnot. And next week, Rebecca, I don't know if you're able to drop this in the chat because I forget the exact time. I want to say it's Wednesday for members only, Wonderful members only, Wednesday at 12 p.m. We're going to be doing, sorry, my camera is making this all blurry, but it's the year ahead. We're actually going to do workshop style planning goals for 2024. So today wasn't about like writing goals. It was more about talking about the process for them. Next week, we're actually going to be diving in and writing out these goals. So I know Rebecca just dropped the comment in here. Not a member won't want to join us. She dropped the link. Feel free to join us. It is for members only because it's a more intimate workshop style event. I'm so excited because it's a really awesome way to get together, talk about our goals, keep each other accountable. We also have an accountability circle in the Wonderful Hub. So if you are a Wonderful member, make sure to go down to the that section and sign up for the group. It's free and will be an accountability circle for each other. Thank you all so much for coming. These are such lovely comments. I really appreciate your attendance, and I hope this helps. So sending you all a big hug wherever you are in the world, and have a great weekend. I'll be definitely working on my goal strategy this weekend. So shoot me a message on Wanderlulu. Let me know where you're at. Bye, everyone.